And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome back live to HCS Media Network's live coverage of high school sports. Rob with them along with you live at Glen Allen High School, and we've got the top of the hour. We are live at 7 Eastern, and we're at match point in the JV game. It went the full 3 sets. Glen Allen down 14-8 now in the third, trying to survive. They've been fighting all set long in a big comeback. Currently, it looks like Atlee with a chance to win, and the kill will do it, and that will wrap up JV action right there as we come on air tonight on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Well, it was earlier, but we've got some clouds and some rain and even a few rumbles of thunder about maybe 30, 40 miles from where I sit right now. Final there in the third set tiebreaker was Atlee 15, Glen Allen 8. It was 13-3 just a moment ago, and it looked like a foregone conclusion, but then they went on a 5-0 run. Glen Allen forcing Atlee to call a timeout, talk things over so they could wrap things up, and they do. They were able to get the side out, and then they were able to win the point to wrap it up. And so congratulations to the JV Raiders. They win tonight in 3 sets. Again, the tie-breaking set final 15-8. That's going to put us probably about 25 minutes away from first serve of our varsity showdown tonight between the 10-3 Atlee Raiders and the 13-2 Glen Allen Jaguars. Second of 3 nights of big high school girls volleyball action live right here on HCS Media Network. Very busy night of action across the area. Not only a big field hockey match going on in Hanover County, not too far from where we are sitting. If you head up Interstate 295 to the east, that is going on right now. We hope to get updates on that coming up shortly. In fact, that match should have started at 6, and we should be getting final information on that game here in the not-too-distant future as Atlee went to Lee Davis. Of course, huge rivalry matchup, but 5A and Conference 11 playoff implications in that one as well. Other girls' volleyball matches going on in the area underway. If not already, then very shortly from now, depending upon how the JV matches went before them, of course. Across the river, LC Bird is at Cosby. We will have live here on HCS Media Network 48 hours from now when they go to James River to take on the Rapids. Clover Hill is at Monacan tonight. That one should be just getting underway. Underway on the west end of Richmond at a couple of locations just a stone's throw from where we are here on Staples Mill Road. Head down to Hungry Spring, turn, go to Parham and turn, and go about 1.5 miles, and you're at Tucker High School, and they are welcoming in Mills Godwin tonight. The Eagles trying to right the ship after a tough night last night at home. Lee Davis coming in and sweeping them 3-love, 25-10 in the third set. It was a tough night. Godwin, the Eagles just seem off in all phases of the game, and some nights you just have a night where things don't go your way, communication doesn't go well, the ball seems to go bouncing in the wrong direction every single time. It was just one of those nights, and certainly no reason to write off the Eagles at 13-5 with a ton of talent, and they will be heard from come Conference 11 tournament time. In fact, I suspect they'll have long memories of last night's match if for some reason they end up in the same bracket as Lee Davis come early November. Lee Davis, by the way, on the road at Armstrong tonight. It's a boys-girls doubleheader at Armstrong. The boys tipped off at 6, and then the girls' varsity will take place shortly thereafter, so they should be getting underway momentarily. Patrick Henry made the trip into Richmond to take on Maggie Walker Governor School. That varsity match should be underway. And Hermitage went to John Marshall in the north side, and that match should be underway as well. They had a volleyball doubleheader there at JM as well this afternoon. Earlier at 5:30, Hermitage played the boys' varsity match there, so that should be wrapping up, if not already done, and we'll see if we can get some information on that. Boys' volleyball schedule mirrors, of course, the girls. They just play at the other locations. Patrick Henry hosting Maggie Walker this evening. That's the first match in a week for Patrick Henry. Don't know the status of Woody McElhaney, who got hurt late in the loss that we had here on the network a week ago Tuesday night to Douglas Freeman, but they are at home tonight. Atlee is hosting these Glen Allen Jaguars in another big battle, this time in boys volleyball action over at Atlee High School. Douglas Freeman at Deep Run. That is boys action. The reverse is true in girls action. We neglected to mention that one. We also neglected to mention Hanover Henrico battling tonight. The boys' match actually started early at 6 p.m. up at Hanover. The girls' match is taking place at the U-Turn Sports Academy, and it was scheduled for a 7 o'clock start, so that should be getting underway very shortly. Golf news for you. Want to send out congratulations to, first of all, Mills Godwin and Deep Run, both teams advancing from the 5A South Region Tournament into the 5A State Championship. Congratulations to them. Want to congratulate Glen Allen Golf. Jaguars finish second as a team in the 4A South Regional Tournament, two-day affair that ended up today in Williamsburg. They have advanced to the 4A State Championship, which will be next Monday and Tuesday up in Forest, Virginia. Mills Godwin Deep Run will be in the 5A State Championship here in Richmond down at Meadowbrook Country Club next Monday and Tuesday. And in 6A play, congratulations to James River. As a team, they have qualified. They finished in a tie for second in the 6A South region today with Grassfield High, and then they had to play a sudden death playoff in order to determine which team got the second and final 6A South slot into the 6A State Championship, and the Rapids were successful. So they will go as a team. There are representatives from other schools, including Cosby, and the first ever state representative for Hanover High School, Matt Alexander, who will be moving on as individuals into, for Hanover, the 4A, and for Cosby, the 6A state championships. And again, they all take place next week. So congratulations to all the golfers from the Metro Richmond area for their wonderful work here in the last 2 days to earn spots in the state championships. And then there's competition cheer. Tomorrow night, the Colonial District has their annual meet. Tonight, it's the Capital District having their annual affair, and it's going on live right now in Mechanicsville on the campus of Lee Davis High School. In college action earlier this afternoon, Randolph-Macon fell to Mary Washington in field hockey. 8-1 the final score. Catherine Percone with the Lone Jackets goal. Jackets still in the race in the ODAC at 1-1, even though their overall record is 2-8, and they are struggling this season. And they are an uncharacteristic 0-4 at home in Ashland. But that Mary Washington match today was actually a make-good from a match that was originally scheduled September 4th but was postponed due to lightning that day. They got it in today. Randolph-Macon hits the road to take on the Vixens of Sweet Briar tomorrow afternoon. The rest of the way, it's ODAC action for them, and they've got a chance to right the ship, right their season, get up there in the top half of the bracket when it comes to the ODAC tournament coming up early November. So good luck to the gang down there, or I should say up there, just north of where we are, in Ashland. They have a chance to turn the season around. For Randolph-Macon tomorrow, not only field hockey in action, men's soccer is in action, and also volleyball. The women's volleyball team, of course, they just have women's volleyball at Randolph-Macon. They are in action at Randolph College tomorrow night at 7 p.m. They have been playing very good volleyball as of late, and we are hoping to be able to catch some of their match coming up. And I want to try to remember if it is this weekend or the next weekend that we have got them on our calendar. If you'll pardon me just a second, I'll check it real quick. It is next weekend, Saturday the 18th, is going to be a very, very busy day. There's, of course, the big cross-country milestat.com event over at Pole Green Park early. Then we'll head to Ashland for volleyball at 11 o'clock in the morning against Washington and Lee. And then we'll walk over to the soccer field and watch women's soccer take on Sweet Briar. That's a big Saturday, next Saturday. This Saturday, we're going to be walking in the 2014 Richmond Heart Walk to benefit the American Heart Association. We'll send out another link to our HCS Media Network Heart Walk team website tonight. It is not too late to join us and walk with us Saturday morning in West Creek, just off of Route 288. Just into Goochland County near the Henrico County line. Very easy to get to. We gather at 9. We start the walk at 10. There's a 1 mile survivors, 1K, I should say, survivors walk and a 5K walk, which even though I am a heart attack survivor of 18 months now, I walked in the 5K last year, plan to do the 5K again this year. And frankly, I've seen the forecast, and I know that maybe it'll be a bit wet. But I figured, you know what? I took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge over the summer, and I got drenched to help out the ALS Association. If I end up getting drenched by 10,000 raindrops rather than one bucket of ice water over an hour or two, that'll be fine by me Saturday morning. If you can't come walk with us, but you'd like to donate to our team, we would love for you to support us as we look to end cardiovascular disease. It's the one time all year that HCS Media Network comes to you and asks for your help financially. And it's not for us, it's for the American Heart Association and the incredible work that they do. So just go to any of our 3 websites, HanoverCountySports.net, HenricoCountySports.net, and ChesterfieldCountySports.net. Look on the right side of the page, and where it says click here for Heart Walk information, just click that link. It'll take you to our Heart Walk page with the American Heart Association. And again, we'll be doing that Saturday morning, and we'll step off at 10 a.m. Want to thank the members who are already have signed up for our Heart Walk team from Clover Hill High School, from Glen Allen High School. So glad to have you aboard and with us walking rain or shine on Saturday morning. We are 15 minutes and change away from the starting lineups and the beginning of tonight's match here at girls volleyball. It's girls volleyball week here on HCS Media Network. Lee Davis Mills Godwin last night with the Confederates victorious in 3 on the road. Atlee would love to match that and get a big road win in 3, but it's going to be tough here against the Jaguars at home with a record of 13-2. And then Thursday night, 48 hours from right now, we will be live at James River High School, and we'll be getting ready for the battle between the Titans of Cosby and the Rapids of James River. Looking forward to that action, and that starts at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Thursday night here live on HCS Media Network. So join us for that one in 48 hours. And, of course, we have football, the game of the week, coming up on Friday night as well. We'll talk about that in just a couple of seconds. But right now, let's kind of set up what we're looking at in terms of tonight's action. Atlee comes in with a record of 10-3. It does not account for some of the matches that they played at the Virginia Volleyball Showcase, which, of course, was Labor Day weekend. In that situation, you've got some matches that go to 3 sets, and they're considered full games in terms of your record. And then you have some, depending upon what division you play in, boys or girls, red, white, etc., to where you may play just a best of 2, and you may end up splitting matches with teams. And so if you take into account all the full matches that Atlee has so far this year, they are at 10-3. They are here tonight. Then they go to Armstrong on Thursday night, and then Atlee goes to their annual visit to the Cave Spring Tournament that occurs in Roanoke every year, the second weekend in October. Gives the Raiders another opportunity to see some of the state's top talent, and it has served them well in the past. They have used those matches down in Cave Spring to kind of turn the corner and get ready for the home stretch of the regular season and, of course, into the postseason. And as you may or may not know, Atlee has made it to the Final Four in states 4 consecutive years. Their run began in 2010. That was back when the class of Haley Brooks and Carly Suber and Kaylee Moody were just sophomores. They made it to the state semis and lost. In 11, they made it to the state semis and lost. In 2012, when Melanie Snyder came in as the libero as a sophomore, Clark Tyler was a junior. She really came into her own at the Siegel Center in that tournament over in 2012 at the Siegel Center. Atlee won finally. They broke through that semifinal rut of sorts, made it to the state finals, forced a 5th set tiebreaker. Actually, they had match point in set 4, if you'll recall. 24-23. Kellum went on a 3-0 run to win set 4, 26-24, force a 5th set. And earlier in that 4th set, you may recall Kaylee Moody having to go out, being carried off the floor with a knee injury that ended her high school career a set prematurely. It forced a young freshman by the name of Molly Jarvis into action. And Molly looked like a deer in headlights that night, and I remember sitting courtside feeling so sorry for her, being thrust in a situation that it was pretty obvious she was not ready for. And Kellum took full advantage in the final set. Not saying it was all Molly's fault. Kellum got on a run set 5, and there was nothing Atlee could do. Kellum won at 15-3, won the state title. Atlee finished state runners-up. And then last year, after they'd lost Brooks and Moody and Super to graduation to 3 Division I schools, not many people gave Atlee a chance to not only get back to the states, but to win the states. But that they did. They got to the state semis. They won. They got to the state championship. And behind the senior class of Rachel Stanford, Kyla Blackmore, Clark Tyler, they captured the state championship on that Saturday night before Thanksgiving last November. And if you'll recall, it was poetic justice that Molly Jarvis got the kill on championship point to secure the victory for the Raiders. So it has been 5 years in calendar time since Atlee has failed to make it to the state semifinals, either in the old Group AAA format in 2010, 11, and 12, or in the 5A new classification format last year. If they lose tonight, you'll have to go back into the archives and look and find the last time Atlee lost 2 regular season matches that were regularly scheduled, not matches that were part of tournaments, either the Virginia Volleyball Showcase or Cave Spring. But the last time Atlee has lost 2 regular season matches in regular area or capital district play, it has been at least 5 years and probably longer. Lee Davis had been trying to beat them forever. Last year, their hope was to get a set from them, and they did. You'll recall Atlee and Lee Davis ended up meeting on 4 separate occasions, 2 regular season meetings, Conference 11 tournament, and then the 5A South Regional semifinal. Atlee winning and moving on, of course, to the state semis after winning the regional championship, and they ended up winning the state title as well. But Lee Davis is hoping this is the year that things turn around and there's a changing of the guard, not just in Hanover County, but in 5A. Serving notice going to Atlee last Thursday night and sweeping the Raiders 3-0 in a very impressive performance in what's been an incredible week for Lee Davis that started against these Jaguars in Mechanicsville a week ago, when they pulled off the 3-0 win over the Jags, giving them only their 2nd loss of the season. They were 12-1 going into that match. They left 12-2. Jaguars entered tonight's match at 13-2. Since then, Lee Davis swept Atlee at Atlee Thursday night. They swept Mills Godwin last night. They're at Armstrong tonight. So Atlee in Conference 11, right now, nothing's secured. And I'm sure their fans understand that nothing is a given. And what happened in 2010 through 2013 means nothing when we get to crunch time in early November in 2014. The Conference 11 tournament is going to be loaded this year with Atlee, with Lee Davis, with Douglas Freeman, with Deep Run, and with a Mills Godwin team that just was not on their game last night. They will be better. They will be more Eagle-like, I'm sure, 4 weeks from now when the tournament is well underway. Glen Allen, on the other hand, they are looking at life in Conference 20 and in the 4A South region. They want to make some history in the short span of Glen Allen volleyball. School, of course, only opening back in the fall of 2010. They want to go farther than they've ever been before. Right now, in VHSL rating points, they hold the number 1 seed going into the Conference 20 tournament, but that's still a long 3.5 weeks away. If you get the number 1 seed, though, in Conference 20, it comes with a big caveat and a great advantage. It's a 7-team conference. So the number 1 seed gets a bye out of the quarterfinals. You only have to win 1 match, a semifinal, to get into the 4A South region. And then, of course, you want to win the conference championship. But if you don't win it for some reason, you still make the regional. There are ostensibly 3 teams fighting it out in Conference 20 right now, between Glen Allen, between Hanover, who gave Lee Davis their last loss about 2 weeks ago, and Midlothian. Hanover holds a win over Midlothian. Glen Allen holds a win over Hanover at Hanover a couple of weeks back. They'll have to fight each other again in another regular season matchup before this is all said and done. Tonight, by the way, is the first of 2 matchups between the Raiders and the Jags. They end the regular season against each other at Atlee on October the 30th. And who knows, that night, that match could be where Glen Allen needs to win to be the number 1 seed in Conference 20. Depending upon how they do the next 3 weeks, how Hanover and Midlothian fare, although Midlothian has lost 5 now. So it's going to be very difficult for them to catch up. They're going to have to hope the Jaguars lose at least 3 more. And then it's going to be a matter of who you've played and and how many bonus points you get out of classification, et cetera, et cetera. So Glen Allen with an advantage right now, but they also know they still got to host Hanover here at Glen Allen coming up very shortly. There's a chance for Hanover to grab a win, split the season series, and get closer in Conference 20. What you're trying to avoid is that 2-3 matchup in that conference where if it ends up being Glen Allen getting the bye, and let's say everything holds true to form in the quarterfinals, Hanover Midlothian would have to square off in the 2-3 semis. And one of those teams, certainly all of them worthy of 4A South Region consideration, would see their season end there, either the Hawks or the Trojans. Now, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves a bit, but right now that's kind of the way Conference 20 is flushing itself out. Still got Monacan in play, still got Dinwiddie in play, still got Caroline in play, as well as J.R. Tucker. But the Jaguars want to get as many wins as they can. And there's one advantage for Glen Allen and Hanover, I think, over Midlothian, is that they play this tough Capital District schedule. Even though Midlothian will counter with, hey, you know, the Dominion schedule isn't a cupcake. We've got to take on Cosby and we've got to take on James River. They're absolutely right on that. But when you're in the Capital District, you're playing the defending state champions in Atlee, a team that's been to the state semis 4 years in a row, state finals 2 years in a row, and defending state champs. You're playing a team in Lee Davis who Atlee had to beat 4 times last year just to get to the states. They had to get through them to get to the conference, through them to get to the region, and through them to get back to the state level. And now Lee Davis has a win over Atlee already in this season, so is the guard changing. That's only going to help the Glen Allens and the Hanovers in terms of getting them seasoned and readied and prepared for the Conference 20 tournament. That's not to say Midlothian won't be. They most certainly will be prepared. And at any time, on any given night, they could get the win over the Jags. They could get the win over the Hawks. So Conference 11, Conference 20, the two conferences we're focusing on here tonight on our pregame show, because the two teams here tonight represent those conferences, are going to give us some fantastic girls volleyball tournaments the first week of the month of November. All right. Glen Allen has finished their warm-ups. The visiting Jaguars are now warming up. And we have a final from field hockey. Congratulations to the Atlee Raiders. They have gone to Lee Davis and shut out the Confederates. Final score, Atlee 3 and Lee Davis nothing. And it's been a pretty impressive run the last several weeks for the field hockey team. Going to bring up their standings here real quick. Yeah, that improves them to 8-3 and is their 4th win in a row. And after having a kind of a off season last year in field hockey and losing in the Conference 11 semifinals, seeing their season come to a premature end and just over the 500 barrier, Coach Alyssa Farling had a lot of players coming back. She lost some good seniors, but she had a ton of talent coming back, and they have come together here mid-season to roll off 4 wins in a row, and 4 pretty good wins. After their last loss, which was against Henrico, at Henrico, which we were at Wednesday night for the Lee Davis match, and that one went to penalty strokes before Henrico won. It was scoreless all the way to the strokes, and Henrico won strokes 2-love. Since then, Atlee has defeated Glen Allen 4-3. They knocked off Varina. They beat Douglas Freeman 2-1, and now they've beaten Lee Davis on the road. Now they get a break. They don't play again until Monday when they host Highland Springs, but then they have a back-to-back interesting setup next week on the schedule. Next Wednesday, they host Henrico in the rematch, and then the following night on Thursday, they host Hanover. Then they turn around and go to Hanover the following Monday, the 20th. So Atlee and Hanover will face each other twice within a 5-day period. So congratulations to the Raiders of Atlee with the win tonight. Final score once again, Raiders 3 and Confederates nothing. And that puts Lee Davis, again, as we mentioned a moment ago, with a record of 8-3. give us just a second, we will check on the Confederates record. They have had 2 tough losses here in the last week. We mentioned that overtime shootout loss to Henrico that we were at last week on Wednesday night, and now couple that with losing at home to Atlee. Of course, Lee Davis lost so much from their state semifinalist team from last year. Just so many good players. Cameron Gibson, for one, who is now playing at Indiana University. You've got Harper Matthews now playing at Shenandoah. Madison Doss. The list goes on and on. They did bring back, of course, Amanda Loving and Lauren Wolfgang, senior and junior respectively. But most everybody else almost new either to the varsity roster or may have been on the varsity roster last year but really didn't get any playing time. So for the new head coach, the former assistant, Mary D. Gibson, it was a matter of trying to get everybody together, bring them together, and kind of cohesively find her team as the season wore on. They lost their first 3, then they won 3 in a row. And now they've had 3 tough losses, make it 4, with the double overtime loss last Wednesday to Henrico in Strokes. Then the next night they lost at home to Godwin. They lost yesterday to Hanover at home 1-0, and they lose tonight at home 3-0. They are now off until Monday. Their home stretch continues. They've got 3 more games at home in this 6-game homestand. They played a lot of games away before they finally got home last week. Their first 7 matches were away. And then they had 6 at home. Then they'll have 2 away, and then they'll have 1 to wrap up the regular season at home. And then, of course, the tournament for Conference 11 starts on October the 27th. But that drops Lee Davis's record now to 3-7 on the season. All right, practice is done. Warm-ups are set. Atlee is running out for final instructions. Head coach Curtis Carpenter trying to get all the extra volleyballs up off the court. And we are almost ready for tonight's match. The main event here on this Tuesday night. Atlee Glen Allen girls volleyball, as we bring you the best possible matchups here live on HCS Media Network, the RVA home for live high school sports. That included Lee Davis Mills Godwin last night, Atlee Glen Allen tonight, and 48 hours from now we're live at James River for Cosby James River girls volleyball. Looking forward to that one. Almost time to stand and rise for our national anthem, and then we will get set for the starting lineups and set number 1 between the Jaguars and the Raiders. But first, we take a pause, and we're going to honor America here at Glen Allen High School with the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem here tonight live at Glen Allen High School. Rob Witham along with you live on HCS Media Network, and we are set for girls volleyball action night 2 of 3 here this week on the network with girls volleyball. Cosby James River coming up Thursday night. Of course, our football game of the week coming up Friday night. And we'll talk more about our Football Friday matchup and a little change in terms of how the radio is going to handle the game coming up during the intermission between sets 1 and 2 tonight. Atlee being introduced tonight, including, of course, Melanie Snyder and Molly Jarvis and company. And it's funny, I walked into the place here about 5:30, 5:45. We get here early to set up, try to stay out of the way. And Melanie and Maddie French were both working on homework really hard out here in the commons outside the volleyball gym. And I went to them and I said, girls, I don't miss that a bit. and Maddie was telling me about how she was trying to catch up because she's had some recent college visits to the life of a senior. And she was catching up on homework even while JV was warming up to get ready. All right. Atlee introduced, and now here come the introductions for the Jaguars of Glen Allen. 13-2. Players to watch, including, of course, Lauren Wells, the setter, the senior, who had such a great match at Hanover not too long ago. We were at that match, had a interview with her that we posted on YouTube later that night. The Kennedys, seniors, Kirsten, Kaylee, and Maya Massenberg in the middle. Could be a difference maker here tonight. She will test Molly Jarvis in the middle. That will be a great matchup. Jarvis, who has been playing for a week now after earlier being out due to a foot injury for a brief amount of time, not too long. She did miss that Hanover match that Atlee won in 5 sets. That was just one of the best volleyball matches in the regular season that I've ever witnessed. The action, the intensity, the drama in that gym that night was electric. Jarvis is healthy and back in the middle and ready to go. So Jarvis v. Massenberg. We're going to be looking at that in the middle, kind of like we did last night with Kendall Brown versus Ayanna Swan for Mills Godwin. And Brown got the better of that battle as Swan was just off her game last night, as were most of the Eagles, unfortunately. One of the reasons why they fell in 3 sets. This is the last first meeting in the regular season schedule for these two teams. They have played everybody else in the Capital District. They'll start around the Capital District again Thursday. Atlee with Armstrong before they take off to Roanoke for the Cave Spring Tournament this weekend. And again, these two teams will meet in the regular season finale on October the 30th. All right, my friends. Thanks so much for hanging with us during our extended pregame show. One of the things about volleyball is and basketball too, is when you have the JV game first, sometimes you don't know if they run a little long, could be a little later before we get started. So we are now finally ready for the best of 5. Atlee 10-3, Glen Allen 13-2. We are situated just behind the Atlee bench on the near location of the gym here at Glen Allen as you walk in from the Commons. Glen Allen is on the far side of the court for set 1. The Raiders here on the near. Everybody is ready to roll. It's Jarvis and Snyder, Whitehurst and French, Stanford the libero, and Colombo for Atlee as Lauren Wells gets set to serve, and we are underway. Handled by Snyder. Jarvis mishits it over on the far side. Didn't get nearly enough on it. Points at herself, says, my bad, guys. 1-0 Glen Allen. Set number 1, best of 5, just underway. Glad you're with us. Served there by Wells, just a bit long, trying to find that back right corner near the bleachers side of the gym. And we're tied at 1 on the side out service error. Colombo out. Emily Martin into the match for the Raiders. And Melanie Snyder set to serve it up at a 1-1 tie. Snyder, the senior, sets it up. Softer serve, goes to the net. Kill attempt is good. Brianna Woods doing the honors there in the middle. And the side out to Glen Allen. She just tapped it over the net, and 2 Raiders went for it, falling onto the floor, but neither had good position or a good angle. 2-1 Jags as they serve it up. Whitehurst to Snyder to the lefty Martin. It's saved. Point continues as Wells just sends it over rather than set it. And Maddie French dives for it on the far side in the mid part of the court and couldn't get to it. Point Jags at 3-1. Kaylee Kennedy, Wells, Woods, Trash the libero, all in the match. Nice serve and a good dig by French near the net. Going to set it up for Jarvis. Kill attempt is no good. It's wide. Going near side to far, and it went too far. Point Glen Allen 4-1 as Mary Megan Rice continues her service run for the Jags. Nice serve, dug out nicely by French, right to the middle. Snyder sets it up. Kill attempt, Whitehurst is good. Point Atlee, and they'll take the side out, and the 4-2 deficit now as Jarvis gets set to serve. Serving up, check that, it's Stanford doing the honors. And a point for Atlee as they try to set it here near side, but the Jags were out of position. No one there to set it up. Ball falls on the floor. It's a 4-3 Jaguar lead. Serve, dug to the middle. Kennedy has it. Trash will just send it over, and the Raiders will set it. Snyder in the middle. Over to Whitehurst. Soft kill attempt handled by Wells. Drash will set it. Sending it over. Florence. It's handled by Stanford. Over here to this side. Kill attempt is no good. It's too long. Miranda Westbrook put too much on it, and it goes wide and bounces in front of the bleachers. Side out, Glen Allen. (5-3) here in set one. And Brianna Woods to serve for the Jaguars. Nice jump serve. French digs it out to Snyder. Snyder sets it up. Martin, kill. Long. The Raiders putting too much on it. Maybe have a little too much adrenaline right this time. And they're down 6-3. Third kill attempt of the set that either goes too long or too wide. Woods to serve. French digs to Snyder. Sets it up far side. Westbrook decides not the jump kill, just to slap it over. The block was on. It hits Massenberg and then falls right in front of Maya's feet. Side out Atlee. And Whitehurst will serve in a 6-4 deficit. Big toss by Whitehurst. Her serve has been developing quite nicely this year. Handled. Wells over to the near side. Kennedy sends it over. Nice save by Whitehurst. Westbrook will send it over on the third shot, but will be called for a double hit. And it'll be side out to Glen Allen at 7-4. One of the things Atlee has had to grow up with this year is players who have not had much of any varsity experience being thrust into big roles. Whitehurst being one, Westbrook, Colombo, Bridget Jacoby being another. Serve handled, set up, kill attempt French is good. On the far side, Maddie French with the kill. And the side out to the Raiders down 7-5. And the lefty Emily Martin ready to serve. She'll send it up high, send it over, and it goes long. Service error for the Raiders, side out to the Jags. Mary Megan Rice checking back in for Glen Allen. Martin comes out, and Colombo in for Atlee. Jags' biggest lead has been 3, and it's where it is right now. 8-5 your score as Kirsten Kennedy gets set to serve. She, of course, of the senior Kennedy twins. Colombo digs it out, sets it to Snyder. Over near side, and Westbrook. That time not a double hit. Sends it over with two hands softly, goes over the blockers, inbounds, and a side out for Atlee. Good point for the Raiders. They cut it to 2 again. Third, though, opportunity early on to cut into the 2-point deficit. Westbrook serves, and it's a laser just over the net into midcourt. Jags dive, can't get to it. Ace for Miranda Westbrook. And finally, they cut that 2-point deficit down to 1 at 8-7. Another nice serve. That one dug by Kennedy, set by Wells over near side. Rice with the shot, and it's good. Right in the corner here in the back in front of head coach Curtis Carpenter's feet. Side out Jaguars at 9-7. Whitehurst checks back in. Westbrook out. Woods checks back in. as the libero, Kelly Trash, gets set to serve it with a 2-point lead. Colombo digs it. Snyder setting it up. French kill. Good. On the far side. Hugging the line. Side out Atlee down 9-8. They retrieve the ball from the bleachers, and Maddie French will serve it up. Earlier, they went 3 in JV. As we just went on the air, it was match point. Atlee survived in 3 sets tonight here at Glen Allen. Great dig by Trash off the serve, sent to the net. Battle between Woods and Snyder, and they're going to replay the point. The referees blow the whistle. They hold up the thumbs up sign, and the head referee up on the ladder, she just points at herself and says, "My bad." And so, honest mistake, we'll play the point again. French to serve. They let it go, and it hugs the line. Trash decided it was going to go wide, and it didn't. French with the ace. We're tied at 9. 9-9 tie now in this first set, best of 5, and French to serve it up. Trash digs that one out, set by Wells. Kill attempt, blocked, saved by French. Snyder will set it far side. Whitehurst, saved by Kennedy. Quick set, Woods. Nice dig by Colombo. Atlee survives. Kill attempt, saved by Rice. Set by Wells. Kennedy, kill attempt. Backline handled by French. Jarvis with a soft kill. Saved. Blocked. And a point for Atlee. Jarvis on the soft kill attempt didn't work. Jarvis on the block does. And the Raiders take their first lead of the night at 10-9. French to serve. Trash digs it out to Kennedy. Over to Wells. She'll send it over. And good. She found a corner in the back right where Maddie French couldn't get to it. Beautiful positioning there by Lauren Wells. And it'll be Wells to serve. We are knotted at 10 here in set 1. Serve, laser, over toward the Atlee bench, and it goes just wide, and a service error, side out to Atlee. Wells, certainly one of the better servers for Glen Allen. They can ill afford her to have an off night in that position. Gives the Raiders the lead again, and it gives Snyder a chance to set up a big one. Here comes her serve. Dug out by Kennedy and set it by Wells. Kill attempt, saved by Stanford. Over to Jarvis. Jarvis just sends it over. Trash to Wells. Kill attempt. Woods is good. Woods beats the taller Jarvis with some nice authority there. And a side out to Glen Allen and the 2 big servers, Wells on one side and Snyder on the other, limited to 1 serve apiece. Tie at 11. French digs out the serve. Snyder sets it up. Kill attempt blocked, but it goes out of bounds on the Atlee side wide. Side out Raiders, 12-11. Jarvis comes out and Westbrook reports in. Lauren Stanford to serve. Set up nicely. Woods kill attempt, saved by Westbrook. They set it over to the other side for Whitehurst, and it is no. It is long. Atlee protests a moment that it was off the fingertip of a Jaguar at the net, but the referees say no, and it's a side out for the Jags. We remain tied, now 12-12, as Brianna Woods is set to serve. Nice serve, dug out nicely to the net. Kill attempt, Martin. It's good. Back center, Emily Martin fires one out of the middle. And another side out to the Raiders and another 1-point advantage. That's all they've had in this set. Whenever they've led, it's only been by 1. They've never had a lead of more than that so far as Whitehurst sets up for her serve. Man, she's got a good one, too. Trash digs it out to Wells, over to Massenberg. Nope, fake her. Kennedy shot wide. Looked like they were going to set up Maya there on the far side, but instead it was Kennedy behind her, and she hooked it right. And Atlee finally has that 2-point edge for the first time in this set 1, 14-12. as Whitehurst serves. Florence gets it to Massenberg. She just sends it over. Whitehurst is there. Snyder to Martin. Kill attempt. Saved by Florence to the net. Wells just punches it over. Saved by Whitehurst. Snyder sets it up. And the kill by French is good. Massenberg and Kennedy over there, but neither one could stop Maddie French. Timeout. Glen Allen. So the first 3-point lead of set number 1 for Atlee comes at this margin at this moment. 15-12 the score. Glen Allen calling time. They don't take very long in timeout. Neither do the Raiders, and we only use about half the allotted minute. Whitehurst has the ball, and we're ready to get back going. 3-point lead, set 1 for Atlee. And the serve from Madison. A little softer that time. Trash handles that. Wells sets it. Kill attempt Massenberg. Snyder saves it. Over to Stanford. Martin kill attempt. Dug, but can they keep it going? Trash is able to get it back in play. Massenberg sends it over into a hole. And Coach Carpenter puts his head in his hands and can't believe that that hole was wide open defensively. Side out, Glen Allen. Atlee all over that point. And Massenberg just found the opening, and Atlee was just not there. The gulf came open. Wow, 15-13 Kennedy to serve it up. Jags down 2. Martin will set this time. Whitehurst sends it over. It's dug out nicely. Wells to set. Massenberg kill goes long. Maya put too much on that one. Back over to the Raiders side out at 16-13 set 1. Emily Martin, the jump serve will be just a bit long. Good decision by Trash to let it go. And the service error gives the ball back to the Jags on the serve. It'll be Kirsten Kennedy to serve. Still down just 2 at 16-14. Glen Allen 13-2 on this season. That one's going to go long. Kennedy gets it right back on the service error. Side out to Atlee, and Miranda Westbrook to serve with another 3-point lead. Westbrook, jump serve, handled by Kennedy to the net. Wells tries to send it over, blocked. Jaguars save it though. Kennedy sends it over on number 3. Atlee saves it. Snyder off the net. Colombo to send it over, and she doesn't get enough height on it. It hits the top of the net and falls. And the error by Colombo. Side out Jaguars, 17-15. And the libero, Kelly Trash, the freshman, to serve. Handled by Stanford. Kill attempt Jarvis. Dug out nicely, but right back to the net to Jarvis. She'll set it for Maddie French. Kill good. Credit Snyder with the set there after the first set by Jarvis. The kill by French, and French has come up big here in set number 1 to help the Atlee Raiders overcome a small early deficit and hold anywhere from a 1 to 3 point lead since mid-set. French serve, dug out by Kennedy to the net. Wells will set it up. Kill attempt Rice. Stanford is there. Snyder just sends it over, goes off of the hands of Rice behind her, and nobody there to help. Point Atlee, first 4-point margin of the night belongs to the Raiders here in set 1 at 19-15. With French to serve, looking for the 5-point lead. Dug by Kennedy, set, and sent over, no kill attempt there. Westbrook to Snyder, back to, check that, Whitehurst, her kill attempt saved. Wood sends it over, Colombo gets a hand on it. Snyder, back to Whitehurst, kill attempt dug out. Jaguars set up from midcourt, Kennedy pushes it over, it's dug out nicely. Snyder, back to the far side, and Whitehurst again. It's dug out by the Jaguars. Third hit, though, Rice to send it over, and she mishits it into the net. And a costly error there on a long point, giving Atlee the 5-point lead. Jump serve, French. Kennedy to Wells. Kill attempt Woods off of Snyder's hands. Doug, Colombo to get it, and they say double hit. Coach Carpenter a little upset at that call, and frankly, I'm not so sure I saw a double hit on that play. Because Maddie, going down here in front of her own bench, could only put one hand on it, and it certainly wasn't Colombo that double hit it. But the referee says one of the two did. And it's a side out to the Jaguars. They'll catch a break here with Wells to serve. They need a run from her, down 4, 20-16. Good serve, dug out nicely. Snyder has to run for it, though. Gets it over to Whitehurst. That's saved. Jaguars to set now. Woods' kill attempt is wide. Brianna couldn't get that one in bounds. 21-16. Martin to check in. Colombo coming out. And Snyder in the rotation now to serve it up for the Raiders. And timeout called by Glen Allen. Head coach Scott Newton, which I want to thank personally for his help today in getting us set up and making us feel welcome here at the home of the Jaguars. And my thanks to Ryan Malloy, by the way, and his staff over at Mills Godwin last night. A warm welcome from the Eagles, and we appreciated that immensely and told them we'd be back to cover more action, hopefully during basketball season, either with the Godwin boys or the Godwin girls, who always have competitive teams. Really looking forward to hopefully getting some time here in the next few weeks to finalize our basketball schedule. We've already announced we'll have a quadruple header January 17th of girls play in the 2015 StatVA.com Classic. We're going to have 8 of the best girls teams in the whole Commonwealth of Virginia here on the network that afternoon and evening. You can look at the lineup live on any of our websites, including HenricoCountySports.net and HanoverCountySports.net. Out of the timeout, 5-point lead. Snyder serving it up big time. There it goes. Dug out. Wells will set it up. Kill attempt Rice. Stanford saves it. Snyder over to Whitehurst. It's dug out. Front of the net. Woods blocked by Jarvis. Back over. Snyder saves it. Stanford will set it. Martin for the kill. Saved by Wells. To the net. Battle. Jarvis somehow gets back over by the Jaguars. Beautiful set. Not sure who did that at the angle. Wells will set it up again. Woods, kill attempt, save Snyder. Point continues. Great point. Back to Snyder. Kill attempt, save in the back by Kennedy. To the net, Jarvis is going to get the point for Atlee, but not for Jarvis's sake, but because a Jaguar ran into the net. And oh my goodness, when you have a long competitive point like that, you hate to lose it on something like that. But sometimes you get into the heat of the point and you forget your positioning. And one of the Jags into the net. Atlee by 6, 22-16. Another big high boom serve by Snyder. That one barely dug out, and the point will go to Atlee. They'll say it's a double hit on Wells at the front of the net after the dig. 23-16. And the Raiders on the precipice of a 1-0 lead here on the road tonight at Glen Allen High School. Glen Allen wants to take the next step. These are the type of matches they've got to win at home. Snyder's serve, dug by Drash, comes over. Stanford gets it to Snyder, to Jarvis, and it's saved by Kennedy. Wells sets it up. Woods' kill attempt is good. That one goes right between a diving Lauren Stanford and a diving Maddie French in the back. Side out Glen Allen, but the deficit now is 6. Jarvis looks over at assistant coach Casey Ogden, gets a sign, gives her a thumbs up. Jaguars to serve. It's Rice to do the honors, down 23-17, and the serve goes long. Great decision by French to let it go. Set point, Atlee. And the libero, Lauren Stanford, ready to serve. Boy, she came into her own too last year during that championship run. No longer Rachel's younger sister by any stretch of the imagination. Brief discussion at the scorer's table over something. 24-17, set point for the Raiders here at Glen Allen. Set 1, best of 5. Now the referee says, let's play. Stanford serves it up. Kennedy with it to the net. Kill attempt. Kaylee Kennedy saved. Snyder will set it up. It's Westbrook, and her kill attempt is long. Point to the Jags, 24-19, and Woods to serve. Massenburg into the match. Drash will come out. 24-18, 6 set points, though, for Atlee. And they'll only need one as the serve from Woods goes wide, and set 1 is in the books. (25-18) final in set number 1. Atlee with the victory. Best of 5. They switch sides, take a 3-minute break, talk things over. Set 2 coming up very shortly here on HCS Media Network. Man, you know, you're living in the 2010s when you've got somebody that's videoing the match on their tablet, which is connected to a tripod. It's like they're walking around with a 4-inch television. That's pretty crazy. Wow. Got our first update. Tonight from Atlee and Glen Allen, the boys edition. And I want to make sure I give you the right information here. It is 17-12 Atlee over Glen Allen, and I want to say that Student Trainer 3 on Twitter meant set number 2. The question with that, of course, is what happened in set number 1, and that we do not know. And if you'll give us just a quick second to send out a tweet or two. Are you following us on Twitter? Hope you are. And, of course, we have 3 Twitter feeds working across the Metro Richmond area, depending upon where you are. You can follow them all to know everything that's going on with the 23 public schools, all the private schools, all the colleges, community sports, weather, traffic, and anything you're talking about. We are not just high school sports on Twitter. You can find us at Hanover Sports, at Henrico Sports, and in Chesterfield at Seafield Sports. Love to converse with the players and the students and the coaches and the fans and the parents on Twitter. It's a lot of fun. And we send you information, including every morning when you get up, we send out what we call the lineup. Look for the hashtag the lineup every morning, Monday through Friday. As every 5 minutes, we send out a tweet talking about matches coming up later on in the day. So don't miss the lineup every morning on our 3 Twitter feeds at Seafield Sports, at Hanover Sports, and at Henrico Sports, and you'll know everything that's going on involving your school and every other school later on that afternoon and evening. Got a quick recruiting alert. We want to send out a congratulations to Allie Pollard at Cosby Basketball. Just found out on Twitter from at ASGR1995, she has verbally committed to play at Emory and Henry in the ODAC. Congratulations to Allie Pollard. First serve of set 2 goes to Snyder, and it goes into the net. That's uncharacteristic of Melanie. And a side out to Glen Allen. They go up 1-0. The Jaguars on our side of the gymnasium now as Lauren Wells gets set to serve. Up 1-0. Nice serve, good dig by Stanford. Snyder sets it up. Kill attempt, saved by Drash. They'll set it up far side. Kill attempt is good. That looked like Rice doing the honors, and it was Mary Megan. Point Glen Allen. And a 2-0 lead for the Jags. Wells to serve again. Lauren, senior, one of the bedrocks of this Glen Allen program. Stanford digs it out. Snyder. Kill attempt saved by Kennedy. Wells gets it over to Rice. Kill attempt blocked. And it's touched by a Jag before it goes out of bounds. So the block is good and the point to the Raiders. Side out at 2-1. Glen Allen. And Lauren Stanford to serve it up. She'll get it over the net. Kennedy right there. Kill attempt short. Kaylee Kennedy kind of running up and jumping at the same time, far side by the official's ladder, and didn't get enough elevation, and she rammed it right into the top of the net. And we're tied at 2. Nice set after the serve. Rice with the kill attempt, and oh, what a save by Emily Martin, diving with one hand. Snyder gets it over, and a great save by Trash. Point continues. Kirsten Kennedy, kill attempt midcourt, good, as it'll go off a Raiders' hand and out of bounds. And a point for the home team, the Jags, at 3-2. Mary Megan Rice doing the honors with a 1-point lead. They're going to let it go, and it doesn't go out. Rice hugs the back line. It's an ace. Sometimes you take that chance if you're the back defenders, and sometimes it burns you. Rice will get the ace. 4-2 Jaguars. They had an early lead in set 1, too. Missile serve by Rice. Handled nicely, though. Kill attempt blocked by Kennedy. Middle of the net. Woods. Did she go over the net? Yeah, they said she's into the net as well. Woods had a chance to slam it home, but makes the mental error. And it's side out to the Raiders. Olivia Florence back in for Glen Allen with a 4-3 lead. They led early on. It was about midway through set 1 when Atlee finally took a lead, and they never let it go. Jump serve Whitehurst, handled by Trash. The set from Wells. Kill attempt, Kirsten Kennedy, dug to the net. Atlee will set it up. They can't get a kill. They'll just send it over. Woods to Wells, back to Kennedy. And the shot is long. Point Atlee, we're tied at 4. In set 2, Atlee won the first set tonight, 25-18. And Madison Whitehurst to serve it up for the Raiders. Drash can't handle it on the dig, and it hits one of the fans that wasn't looking in the head as it goes caroming off of Drash's fists into the crowd, and an ace for Whitehurst, who is developing. We mentioned this briefly earlier. She's developed a very nice jump serve, and that could be another weapon for these Atlee Raiders. Opponents don't want to hear about that. Trash handles that one nicely, way high. Wells there. Kennedy will just send it over. Atlee, Snyder will set it. Kill attempt blocked. Saved, though. Stanford sets. French on the kill. Nice dig by Wells. Drash sets it up near side. Kennedy saved. Snyder just sends it over on shot 2. Florence is there. Kill attempt Woods blocked. Saved by the Raiders back to the net. And a kill by Kennedy and a point for Glen Allen far side. Nice point by both teams. And Glen Allen got the shot they needed to retake the lead at 6-5. Woods coming up to serve. And correcting ourselves, 5-5 tie as Woods serves. Nice serve. Dug awkwardly. Snyder almost into the crowd to save it and can't. Her dig goes over the net, out of bounds, next to the referee on the wrong side of the pole. And now it is 6-5, Glen Allen. Nice job, Brianna Woods. Another one of the seniors here on this Glen Allen team. Sends it over. Stanford digs that one. Snyder goes to set it. Stanford will send it over. Dug by Wells. Florence and Massenberg both try to set it. They just send it over. Kill attempt Martin. Good. The dig went right to the middle of the net, and Martin's there up front saying, why not? And she found the hole and put it in right in front of the Glen Allen bench. We're tied at 6, side out, and Martin to serve for the Raiders. No jump serve that time, none needed because a beautiful angle on it and Olivia Florence couldn't get to it. Ace for the Raiders, and they take the 7-6 lead. Next one to the net gives Atlee a chance. French, though, on the kill attempt, she puts it right in the top of the net. Sometimes you're wide open and you miss the opportunity, and that's exactly what just happened. Point to Glen Allen. We're tied at 7. And Kaylee Kennedy's going to serve. Oh, wait a minute. That took a long time, but they've reversed the call. And now the referees are pointing in Atlee's direction. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I'm not sure why. It may have been a case to where one referee saw the ball fall in on one side of the net, and one saw it at another. Now they've got it straight. The point goes to Atlee, and instead of a 7-7 tie, it's an 8-6 Raider lead with Martin to serve. Dug out by Florence, but right back to Atlee. They'll set it up middle. Here to the near. Kill attempt, Westbrook, saved by Drash. Kill attempt, Kennedy. Martin saves it. In the middle, French. And it is a point for Glen Allen as Westbrook blocks it. Excuse me, check that. Massenberg blocks it. And then somebody kicked it into the bleachers. So a point for Kennedy and Glen Allen, and Kaylee will serve it again. 8-7. Jags retake Jags down 1, I should say. Jags down 1. Kill attempt is going to go long, but it's going to go off of Kaylee Kennedy, who thought about going for it. Then she put her hands away, but not in time. It glances off of her hands and out of bounds. It would have been long, and the Jags lose an opportunity to tie. Side out to the Raiders. Miranda Westbrook to serve, up 9-7. Kennedy digs. Wells to Massenberg. Mistimed her jump. And she carried the ball because by the time she got the ball to her, it was Massenberg had already jumped and was on the floor. Another error, 10-7. Serve to Kennedy. This time Massenberg. Dug by Westbrook. It is Snyder trying to save it far side, and she can't with the one fist. And a nice play there by Maya as the Jags get side out, and Kirsten Kennedy will serve. Down 10-8 here in set number 2. Serve off of Whitehurst awkwardly, and behind her toward the back of the gym. Ace for Kirsten Kennedy, cutting the deficit to 10-9. Kennedy to serve, trying to tie it up. Here we go. Dug out nicely. Snyder with it. Kill attempt, Jarvis with authority. Drash went for it, but there was no way anybody was going to get the kill of Molly Jarvis on that one. And the lead maintained by Atlee. Side out to the Raiders, 11-9. And Maddie French to serve. Dug by Drash on a laser serve by French, but she digs it out of bounds to the scorer's table. It's a 3-point margin at 12-9. Drash out. And checking into the match now, Jamie Mears Jr. First time we've called her name this evening. Another serve by French. Mears takes care of that one. Set to Massenberg. It's blocked. Mears is there. They'll set it up again. This time Rice far side. It's saved on a dive. Snyder just sends it over. Kennedy is there. Wells to Rice. Kill attempt is good, as it hangs the back right corner. Side out Jaguars. Served by Drash. Taken by Stanford. Snyder over to Whitehurst. It's saved by Kennedy. Trash will set it up. Who's going to send it over, though? Kirsten will. Atlee will set it. Far side, kill attempt. Jarvis, saved by Kaylee Kennedy. Over to Wells. Kirsten Kennedy, saved by French. High. Snyder will double hit it. And an error by Atlee gives the Jags a point and a much-needed break. It's now 12-11. Trash to serve again. Boy, good serve. French barely dug that one out. They're just going to have to send it over. Trash will save that. Wells will set it up. Shot Kennedy over to Stanford. Stanford to Snyder. Kill attempt Jarvis. Diving to get it's Kennedy. Wells to the far side. Rice kill attempt is going to go out of bounds. No good as the scoreboard temporarily dies. And it's going to be 13-11 when we get the juice back on at the scorer's table. Here we go. Whatever got unplugged got replugged, and we're set. They get the point to the Raiders, and it's 13-11 on the side out. Melanie Snyder to serve. Raiders trying to build on a 2-point lead. Big serve. Drash handles it, but it goes over to Atlee. They'll set up for the kill. Snyder, far side. Martin, shot partially blocked. Kennedy gets it. Battle at the net between Jarvis and Wells, and the battle's won by Lauren. Point Jags. Massenberg back in. Drash out. Wells to serve. Jaguars down 1 in set 2. Down 1 set to none. Live here on HCS Media Network. The RVA home for live high school sports. Important service here if Lauren Wells could get a few in a row strung together. Here we go. Dug out, right to Snyder middle. Beautiful dig. Jarvis kill attempt no good. Jaguars will set it up. Rice soft kill, saved by Snyder. Stanford sets it up. Martin kill attempt off the top of the net. And yeah, I thought that would be 4 hits. Took an extra second for the ref to blow her whistle, but it was a 4th hit because the kill attempt went into the net. Then Atlee hit it again, and that's a no-no. We're tied at 13. Wells to serve, trying to get the Jags a lead. And it's going to go long. Maddie French in the back line saw it happening and yelled out and let it go. Point Atlee. They retain the lead at 14-13. This is Atlee's first match since the 3-set sweep loss at home to Lee Davis Thursday night. Battle at the net. Wood sends it over. French gets it over to Snyder. Kill attempt. Whitehurst blocked nicely. Back over to Atlee. Sending it over is Westbrook. Florence is there. Sent over by Rice. Right to Snyder. Stanford sets it up. Kill attempt. Whitehurst. One arm saved by Kirsten Kennedy. But it goes out of bounds, and Wells can't get to it. (15-13). Serve, Doug, over to Woods. Kill attempt, save Snyder. Maddie French, midcourt, mishits it right into the bottom of the net. Not even close, and the Jags will take the side out. 15-14 the score. And Mary Megan Rice to serve. Stanford lets it go at the very last second, pins her arms against her body and moves, and it does go long. Good decision by Stanford. And another service error by the Jaguars. Whitehurst to serve. Atlee with a 2-point cushion at 16-14. Serve dug by Florence, but almost out of bounds, and Wells can't get to it. It went awkwardly off of Olivia, and Wells had to try to get between the scorer's table and her own bench and just couldn't get it in time. 3-point lead now at 17-14. Referee having a word with Coach Newton about something, and I'm not exactly sure what. Now Coach Newton with a word with the official up top, and the two officials are going to have a brief conference here. Gives us a chance to catch our breath. 17-14 our score. Set number 2. Atlee leading 1-0. Trying to get to 11-3 on the season. They have Armstrong on Thursday night. They'll be a prohibitive favorite then. And then they move on to the Norfolk tournament at Cave Spring. Boys update. Atlee has won set number 2 against Glen Allen, 28-26 the score. And the Raiders lead 2-0 at home over the Jaguars. So the Raider boys lead the Jags 2-0. Atlee girls trying to match it here. And now they have taken that last point off the board after a long referee conversation here. And now Coach Curtis Carpenter of Atlee, rightly so, wants to understand what the explanation is and why we're replaying the point. It went off of Florence awkwardly. Wells tried to save it with one fist between the bench and the scorer's table in the little opening that is there. Didn't get it back in play. I don't know if we had an inadvertent whistle here, like we do occasionally in football or what, but bottom line, we're replaying that point. It's 16-14, and Whitehurst will serve it again, and it's going to go way long. And Glen Allen catches a break. Service error to Glen Allen, side out. Woods to serve for the Jaguars, 16-15 the score. Woods on the serve, dug out by Whitehurst. Stanford gets it. Snyder will just send it over. Wells digs it out to Massenberg. She'll set it up awkwardly, and a double hit. Maya wasn't ready for that. And a point to Atlee, so they get that point right back, and a side out to the Raiders at 17-15. And the last 3-4 minutes of real-time play have been rather quirky and jerky. See if we can get some fluidity back into this match. Emily Martin to serve up 2. Drash digs it high. Florence will set it toward the net. Kennedy will just send it over. Martin is there. It's close to the net. Battle there. Won by Atlee. Point continues. They set it. Westbrook. It's good. Kill attempt for Miranda is inbounds. Drash couldn't get to it. It's 18-15. And the Raiders back to a 3-point margin. It was about this point last set where they put the afterburners on, and they ended up with a 7-point win at 25-18. And they'd like to do it again to up it to 2-love. Serve Martin. Dug out by Mears. Florence at midcourt sends it over. Saved by Stanford. Snyder over to Westbrook, and it's good. Kill blocked off of Massenberg and off of Kennedy and out of bounds. And a point to the Raiders at 19-15. And the Raiders looking to pull away for the second consecutive set. Martin to serve again. Mears digs it out. Over to Kennedy. Massenberg not set up, just sends it over. They'll get it to the net. Kill attempt. Soft one by French. Nice diving save. Glen Allen continues. Gets it over. Florence saved by Stanford. Snyder sets it up. Kill attempt Westbrook. Right to Florence. Wells will just send it over. And Whitehurst in the back can't get to it. Lauren Wells, heads up effort by the senior there. And a much needed side out for Glen Allen, 19-16, as Martin will check out and Colombo will check back in. Kaylee Kennedy to serve. Jags down 3 in set number 2. Dug out by Whitehurst right to the net. Sending it over is Kirsten Kennedy for the point. A gimme there, and Kennedy says, I'll take it. Point Jags, 2-point game, 19-17. Kennedy served, a soft one. Colombo is there. Snyder sets it up. Kill attempt for Westbrook is good. Serve is out. Whitehurst sends it wide. And Atlee misses the opportunity to extend the lead. Florence out, Rice in, point to the Jags. And now it is Kirsten Kennedy to serve, 20-18. The jump serve is over. Handled by Whitehurst, set by Snyder. Kill attempt French, taken care of there nicely by Mears. They'll set it to Kaylee Kennedy, whose shot goes off the top of the net and falls in front of a diving Raider. Point Jags. And we're down to 1. Serve in, nicely set by Whitehurst. Snyder sets it up. French kill attempt, save Mears. Massenberg awkwardly sets it. Mears will just have to send it over from the sideline and does. Here comes another kill attempt. That one misread by 2 Raiders. They do get it over. Rice with a shot. That one doesn't go. French with a soft kill attempt. Kennedy there to save it. Rice back to Kennedy. She'll send it over. Wow, what a point. To the net. Jarvis, soft kill is good. Right front corner. (21-19). Maddie French to serve up 2. Dug by Kennedy to the net. Kill attempt Rice. Jag into the net. And a costly mistake at this point of the match. And Coach Newton may ask for timeout here. And he does. Timeout, Coach Newton and Glen Allen. We can get you an update and tell you that it's looking like Atlee is going to sweep Glen Allen in boys action tonight. 18-10 the score. In set number 3. So the Raider boys, who I tell you, they took Cosby, the undefeated Cosby Titans, to the limit 8 nights ago. Glen Allen's got a good boys team this year, too. And Atlee looking to close them out in 3. Out of the timeout, French to serve here, up 3. Wells will set it up, far side to Rice. Kill attempt, nice diving save right to the net. Snyder, kill attempt Jarvis, saved Rice. Wells just hits it, though. When Rice hit it, it went over Wells's head, front of the net here near to the scorer's table. She just swung her arm trying to keep it in play, and she sent it way back in the court area, and nobody was there. 23-19. Atlee on the verge of 2-0. Mears gets the dig. Kill attempt by Massenberg blocked to the net. She'll try it again, and that one's good. Maya Massenberg on the block to cut it to 23-20. And in to serve is Mason Stover, the junior. Sends it over. French handles it. Snyder will set it up. Kill attempt coming from Whitehurst. And it hits the corner. It's good. Set point 24-20. Martin in, Colombo out, and Melanie Snyder, the Marist College commit. She's headed to upstate New York next year to play volleyball collegiately. To serve for the set. Comes over. It's hit right to the net. Lauren Wells finishes the job, and the Jags are still alive. Another set point for Atlee, but side out to the Jags, and their heavy hitter on the service line. Lauren Wells to serve. She needs 3 points to force extra points. Serve dug out nicely to the middle of the net. Kill attempt Martin. Saved by Stover. Near side Kennedy. Dug out by French. Snyder sets it for Jarvis, and the set is complete. Molly Jarvis slams it home, and the Raiders of Atlee, they take set number 2, 25-21. And they will look for the sweep in set number 3 as Martin and French slap high fives here before they switch from one side to the other. And we get set in just a few moments for set number 3. So glad you're with us here live tonight on HCS Media Network. And we can tell you it is a final now just in. The Atlee boys have defeated Glen Allen in 3 sets. Final score, Atlee 3 and Glen Allen nothing. The set scores were 19, 28, 26, and 20. So congratulations to the Atlee boys as they sweep at home. The Atlee girls are looking to duplicate that here on the road at Glen Allen. While we have a second, a quick reminder about Friday night, our football game of the week. This is the one time of the year where Randolph-Macon football plays a Friday night game. They are home to Catholic University on Friday evening. And that game will start at 6, and it will be on WHAN radio beginning at 5:30. That moves our high school game of the week live on the internet here on HCS Media Network. We will be at homecoming at Patrick Henry, our 4th and final Patrick Henry broadcast of the season. As you know, our game of the week format is 4 games of each of the 4 Hanover County schools, and our radio station, of course, based in Ashland. That's the format that the radio station has wanted for the last 4 years. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. And so we'll head to PH one final time this week. It'll be a 6:45 airtime online at HanoverCountySports.net. Friday night, J.R. Tucker at Patrick Henry. Both teams just out of their respective region playoff races right now if the playoffs were to begin tonight. Tucker just out of the top 16 in 4A South. Patriots just out of the top 16 in 5A North. So a big must-win for both teams in week number 6. We'll have a delayed presentation of the game Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. on WHAN 102.9 FM. But for live coverage of Tucker and Patrick Henry Friday night, right here online at HCS Media Network, we'll have it live for you beginning at 6:45 p.m. The following week, we got Lee Davis Highland Springs, the Lee Davis Hanover rivalry on October 24th, and then Halloween night, we have Atlee Highland Springs. And what kind of 5A playoff implications could that one have? We are ready for set number 3. Teams have switched sides. Lauren Wells will serve it up for the Jags, and we're underway. Stanford digs it to Snyder. Kill attempt Jarvis, handled by Wells. Trash will set it up. Kill attempt Kaylee Kennedy is good. Goes off the right hand of Molly Jarvis, and a point for the Jaguars. They'll take the 1-0 lead. Glen Allen now working from the 2-love deficit. They got to pull off the 3-set sweep to win tonight. Serve into the net by Wells and a side out to Atlee. Snyder did that back in set 2 and ended up not hurting her cause. And now Wells does it. Colombo out. Martin in, and Snyder to serve for the Raiders. 1-1, early third set. Raiders up 2-love. Big serve. Saved nicely. Set up for the kill. Kaylee Kennedy, shot just long. Kill attempt here to the near side, just had a bit too much on it. And a point to Atlee at 2-1. These two teams, again, will meet in the regular season finale on Tuesday. I'll make that Thursday, October the 30th. Snyder, big serve again. Handled by Kennedy. Wells will set it up. Rice, kill attempt, is blocked. Right back to Rice, though. Drash to set it. Who sends it over? Nobody. Kaylee Kennedy out of position. Couldn't get it over the net on shot 3. And another point to the Raiders at 3-1. Nice serve, handled nicely though. They get it to Massenberg and she'll kill it here near side. Snyder just out of position. And a point. Serve by Rice, handled. Snyder will set it up. Whitehurst, kill attempt. Awkwardly off of Rice. And then Massenberg slams it into the net. Awkwardly and almost not knowing that it was coming her way, and a point to Atlee at 4-2. Lauren Stanford to serve. Handled by Trash. Wells runs back to set it up. Midcourt kill attempt is going to go long, and a point to the Raiders at 5-2. That time Maggie Fitzsimmons with a little too much on it. Coach Carpenter over here at the bench talking to Molly Jarvis. Lauren Stanford gets the instructions. Here comes the serve. 5-2, third set lead. Massenberg digs. Wells goes to get it. Midcourt attempt again by Fitzsimmons. Saved by French. Right to the net, though. And it lands on the Atlee side. Snyder couldn't do anything with it. Kennedy lets it go. And a point for the Jags, side out 5-3. Stover in to serve. Jags have been competitive all night long, have had a brief lead or two, but can't get over the hump yet. Kill attempt, Westbrook saved in the back. Kill attempt, Kennedy blocked, but it's going to go out of bounds off of Whitehurst, and the point to the Jags to cut it to 5-4. And this has been the mantra kind of all night long. With the exception of early set 1, Jags had a lead for a while, and then it went away. After the serve, Snyder to Martin. Kill attempt, Stover. It goes behind the bench, and Kirsten Kennedy can't get to it. And a point to Atlee. Side out Raiders at 6-4. And Whitehurst to serve. Madison sends it up, sets it over, killed by Kennedy. They'll set it to the far side. Rice with the shot, saved by Whitehurst. Kill attempt, Westbrook is good. Miranda Westbrook with some nice work. Late part of set 2 and now bleeding into set 3. And it's 7-4. Atlee matches its biggest lead so far of this set at 3 points. As Whitehurst, again, her serve, a developing factor for Atlee. Although that time she put too much on it, and it goes long, just as I give her the compliment. It's 7-5 on the side out. Kaylee Kennedy, one of the senior Kennedy twins here at Glen Allen, set to serve. Whitehurst handles it to Martin. Kill attempt again for Westbrook, but that one goes wide. Jags cut it to 1. 7-6 your score. Serve Kennedy, dug out nicely to the net. Martin will set it up, and they're going to call her for into the net. And we're tied at 7. Raiders 7, Jaguars 7. In football, this would be a battle between the two worst teams in the NFL. In girls volleyball, it's much different. Whitehurst gets it. Martin decides just to send it over on a kill attempt. It's saved. Woods' kill attempt is blocked. She'll send it over Whitehurst to save. Martin sets it up for Maddie French, and the kill is good. Right down the middle. Maddie French keeps the lead for Atlee. So Glen Allen killed the 3-point deficit. It was 7-4, then it was 7-7, and Atlee retakes the lead at 8-7. Third set up, 2 sets to love. Emily Martin to serve. Low serve, dug out nicely, though, to the net as Wells. Kennedy, kill attempt. Dug to the net. Westbrook sends it over, saved. Wells sets it up, kill attempt, saved Martin. French will set it for Stanford. She'll send it over. Dug out by Kennedy. Wells sets it up for Woods. French is there. Snyder sets it. Martin, kill attempt. Blocked, saved by French. Snyder sends it over, and it's good. It goes off of Woods' right hand and caroms down to the court, where Kaylee Kennedy behind in the back row on the right-hand side closest to the bleachers. That carom off the finger cost her the opportunity to defend the point. 9-7, Martin serves. Kennedy digs. Wells sets it up for Kennedy. Pushes it over. Stanford's there. Snyder sets it up. Kill attempt. Westbrook again. And a good night tonight for Miranda Westbrook. And just what Atlee opponents want to hear, another developing Atlee standout. She has definitely stood out tonight in all the other meetings we've watched with Atlee this season. Martin's serve awkwardly handled. Glen Allen barely gets it over. Snyder will set the kill attempt. Westbrook again, and it's good. And the lead is 4 at 11-7, and Coach Carpenter looks back at Molly Jarvis and smiles. I think he sees something developing here too. 4-point lead. Martin serves. Over to Wood. She'll just send it over, and the Raiders weren't ready for it. That time, Westbrook wasn't ready. She hits it toward the net. Snyder can't get to it, and a much-needed side out for Glen Allen. Jags will serve. Kirsten Kennedy to do the honors. It's 11-8. They're down by 3, down 2 sets to love at home. Started 13-1. And they may lose 2 of their last 3 if they don't get going here. French kill attempt is in. Man, what a touch by Maddie French. Far side, sends it over to the opposite corner. It hugs the lines, and a shot to Atlee at 12-8. And there's really not much you can do about that unless you just pin one of your players to that corner. Westbrook to serve. Drash there, set by Wells. Kill attempt. Fitzsimmons is blocked out of bounds. And Maggie gets the side out for the Jags. And they keep it at 3 at 12-9. Brianna Woods to serve. Jags down 3. And a brief timeout for the official. And a timeout called by Glen Allen. 12-9 is our score. Jags will have the serve out of the timeout, but they're down by 3 in set 3. They came in tonight 13-2 on the season. The Raiders are looking to move to 11-3 overall. And again, the Raiders have Armstrong Thursday night. And then they head to Cave Spring for that annual midseason tournament down in Roanoke. Glen Allen will host Verina here on Thursday night. That is their next match. Glen Allen came in like a house of fire when they fell to Lee Davis in 3 last week. Their only other loss was to Godwin in 2 at the Virginia Volleyball Showcase. Between that loss and the Lee Davis loss, they won 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, and 3-0, including a 4-set win convincingly over Hanover. 12-9 the score. Woods' serve is just long. Wow, huge mistake there for the Jags coming out of the timeout. They set their strategy, and then a service error gives Atlee a 4-point lead. And the serve for Maddie French. Beautiful serve, just dug out to the net, and they can't handle it. Wells was out of position, and the lead now at 5 at 14-9. French to serve again, and Atlee threatening to pull away earlier in set 3 than they did in the first 2. It's dug out nicely after the serve. Wells sets it up. Fitzsimmons with a nice kill here on the near side, finding room on the back of the Atlee side of the court, and a side out to the Jaguars at 14-10. Serve Wells, and it's long. Wow, back-to-back service errors. And Melanie Snyder to serve it up for the Raiders. There it goes. They're able to dig it out. Wells will set it up. Fitzsimmons' kill attempt blocked. She'll send it right back over. Snyder will set it up for the lefty Martin. Her kill attempt saved by Wells. Can anybody save it after Wells, though? The answer, no. Massenberg falls trying to do it. Nobody else can get to it. It's 16-10. So we've only got, it looks like, unless Glen Allen's got a big comeback in them, we may only have one shot at more than a 3-set match this week here on the network. Snyder serve, dug out nicely to the net. Massenberg kill attempt, Snyder saves. Over to Stanford and over to Whitehurst. Her kill attempt is saved. Jarvis will just tap it over, and it goes wide. No good. 16-11 the score. All the Raiders have gone over and looked at the referee and asked about a carrying call against Glen Allen, and now they have reversed the call. Wow. So they reversed the call, and it's 17-10 as Snyder sets it up, sends it over. Dug out to the middle of the net. Fitzsimmons, kill attempt. French was going to go out, but French played it anyway. Kill attempt Whitehurst saved in the back. Kill attempt Massenberg is good. Past a diving Maddie French, right back corner, and the Jags get a point and the side out, but it's 17-11. Fitzsimmons to serve. And it's going to go wide. Another service error, and Glen Allen repeatedly shooting themselves in the foot. The lead is 7. Lauren Stanford to serve. Dug out, sent over, saved by Atlee. Snyder will send it right back, and the diving attempt by Mears in the back will only carry him off into the bleachers. Point Atlee, 19-11. Timeout, Glen Allen. It looks as if Atlee will be on their way to an 11-3 mark. And in set number 3, part of the reason has been the ineptitude of the service game of Glen Allen. And again, we mentioned this point. I don't think it's big to overstate this. For a program like Glen Allen, only in their 5th year, they want to make a statement in Conference 20, as we talked about on the pregame show. They want to make a statement in 4A South. They want to go far. They certainly have the talent to do it. But it's nights like this where they've got to come alive and come up with, if not a win, a very competitive match. a 5-set thriller, taking a state champion to the limit. And tonight they've done nothing of the sort. And so I know Coach Newton is going to be disappointed with this effort. And then on top of the 3-set sweep against Lee Davis, one thing he doesn't have to worry about, he doesn't see either one of them come playoff time, as he's in 4A and they're in 5A. Served by Stanford. Florence is there, set it up for the kill, and that's Massenberg on the kill, rather, and that's good. Check that. It is not. They say it was wide. Wide on the far side. They point to the Raiders' direction, and Stanford will serve again at 20-11. Mears over to Wells. Kill attempt. Kennedy. Saved by French. Snyder over to Westbrook. It's blocked by Massenberg, and that's a point for Glen Allen. Looked like that kill was good. I looked up. They put 20 on the scoreboard. I went, wait a minute, and looked, and they were pointing up on the ladder in Atlee's direction. Stover in to serve. It's an 8-point deficit, 20-12. They finally get a serve in after 3 errors in a row. Kill attempt, Westbrook is short. Didn't put enough on that one. Hangs on the net, falls on the Atlee side. Point Jags at 20-13. Glen Allen got a long way to go. Down 7 here, down 2 sets. Stover's serve is long. 4 out of 5 last serves by the Jags have been service errors. And it's Madison Whitehurst to serve at 21-13. Jump serve handled by Kennedy backside. Stover will get it closer to the net. Wells will just send it over. Snyder sets it up. Mid-kill attempt. Westbrook is long. Too much on it. Point for the Jags. Side out 21-14. Don't forget, we will release the brand new NBC 12 WHAN Radio High School Football Top 10 poll tonight on Twitter at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. On all 3 of our Twitter feeds at Hanover Sports, at Henrico Sports, and at Seafield Sports. Service ace for Kaylee Kennedy. Hugged the top of the net and then just took a dive, and Lauren Stanford couldn't do a thing about it. Beautiful serve by the senior. 21-15. That one handled by Whitehurst. Martin will set it up. Snyder will send it to the top of the net. And it'll be blocked right back. Point Jags, 21-16. They're not going down without a fight. And finally getting a little bit of a run on the service of Kaylee Kennedy. Is that going to go long? It sure did. Can you believe it? 6 out of their last 9 serves go long. Emily Martin to serve. 22-16. Raiders 3 points away from the win. Kennedy to Wells to Woods. Kill. Glen Allen point. Side out Jaguars. Nothing fancy about that. Quick set. Woods jump. Found the hole. Put it in there. 22-17. Colombo in. Martin out. And it's Kirsten Kennedy to serve. Down 5. Whitehurst to the net. Snyder just able to get it over. Are they going to say it's out of bounds? They're going to say yes. It went over the pole on the wrong side. Out of bounds. Point to Glen Allen. Cuts it to 4. 22-18. And Coach Carpenter wants a timeout. 22-18 our score here in set number 3. The Raiders looking to wrap it up. We can report that the Lee Davis girls have want to thank Claire Gertler for that update on Twitter. Lee Davis 3, Armstrong nothing. Another sweep for the Confederates as we come out of the timeout. Set it up. Maddie French on the kill. It's Doug. Barely saved far side by Wells. Point continues. Great effort by Jags. Kill attempt Westbrook near side. Is in. And a point for Atlee. Miranda Westbrook big again. And she'll serve 2 points away from the victory. Service ace. Stover can't handle it on the back line. Goes off her hands and back to the back of the gym. Match point. 24-18. Westbrook serving. Dug out to the net. Woods gets it over. Set by Snyder. Kill attempt Jarvis. Saved Kennedy. Wells sets it. Kill attempt Fitzsimmons. Saved Colombo. Snyder sets it far side. Maddie French kill. Saved right back to the Raiders. Snyder back to Jarvis. And that'll do it. The kill off Stover over here near our broadcast position. And it is over. In 3 sets tonight, the Atlee Raiders have walked into Glen Allen and have reestablished just how much of a formidable opponent they're going to be down the stretch. Shaking off the 3-0 loss at home to Lee Davis. And they take the win tonight in 3 here at Glen Allen. 25-18, 25-21, and 25-18. Congratulations to the Raiders. They now move to 11-3 on the season. For Glen Allen, they fall to 13-3, and they've lost 2 of their last 3 as they now turn the corner and begin to face Capital District foes for the second time for the last 3 weeks of the regular season. So will Atlee. Atlee goes to Armstrong Thursday night. Verina comes here to Glen Allen on Thursday night. We will be at James River on Thursday night. Next HCS Media Network live broadcast will be Thursday night, 7 o'clock, when the Cosby Titans come to James River to take on the Rapids. Titans and Rapids here on the network at 7 o'clock. Hope you will join us for that. And then on Friday night, it's the football game of the week. We'll be live in Ashland for Patrick Henry, J.R. Tucker. Live on the network at 6:45. You'll recall, not on the radio this week because Randolph-Macon is on the radio on a Friday night. They're playing a home game against Catholic University, so they get first dibs. We'll have a delayed broadcast Saturday at 1 o'clock on 102.9 FM and 1430 AM. But if you want to catch the Tigers and Patriots live Friday night, join us right here live on the network, and of course, any of our websites, including HanoverCountySports.net and HenricoCountySports.net. Congratulations to the Raiders. They moved to 11-3, 3-set winners over Glen Allen here tonight. Jaguars will host Verina here Thursday night. They fall to 13-3 on the season. We will talk to you again Thursday evening live across the river at James River for Titans and Rapids. Live here on HCS Media Network, the RBA home for live high school sports. Rob Witham saying have a great night, everyone.